Hi, my name is Vincent Jude. I'm from the great state of New Jersey, and this is my art YouTube channel. I have a personal YouTube channel where I do more real life stuff. I've posted one video in the last year. I wanted to do more long form content based on my art because that is a heavy chunk of my time is taken on that. And I also wanted to fulfill my childhood dreams of being an art YouTuber. I apologize for the background. By the next video, I'll probably have a way different setup. This was very last minute decision to film this, because if I don't act on it, I'm not gonna do it. So on this channel, I hope to do some speed paints as well as some live drawings. And I also run an art business, so I would love to film that side of being an artist. In this video, I wanted to do a speed paint, as my first introduction to digital art all the way back when I was like 7 years old was speed paints on YouTube. So let's get into it.
And all right, I wanted to first briefly discuss what this piece is about. This is a painting inspired by Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, specifically one scene. I wanted to expand on where the creature gets to see snow for the first time, and he's living with this old man. I don't want to further spoil if you haven't seen the movie. Go and see it if you haven't. It's beautiful. I'll talk about it more later. But here are my references. I'll flash them on the screen. Just some screenshots from the film, as well as this figure that I found that had like the best full body reference for the creature when he's living with this old man. Now onto my actual process. You just saw me do a very quick composition of what I wanted, and now I'm going over with my sketch, which will be my liner in a way. I don't want to make anything too perfect because I'm just going to be painting over it. I really enjoyed this sketch process. It's not very often that I don't have to do another sketch layer after this point. Everything kind of just came into place. This was quite a quick project for me. I had finished it within 24 hours of starting it, and I believe on Procreate its track time was about 10 hours. Now on to the best part, coloring. I just color picked my palette, and I just plopped it down onto a separate layer. I took from my reference, and now I'm doing my quote-unquote underpainting, which is basically a process where I color and paint underneath the sketch layer, and I personally find it a lot more easier to do that and then go on top of the line art, and then do the actual rendering. I was referencing a lot of the nature and the forest from my references in this, as well as trying to look at the lighting. I kind of like flipped one of the photos with the lighting where the sun was coming in from the left, but now I wanted to come in from the right. In this illustration, I want to depict the creature meeting a bird for the first time while the old man looked on, even though he's blind. Now I think it's a good time to talk about the film and my experience seeing it in theaters, etc. So I've always been a really big fan of the Frankenstein story ever since I was a little kid. I've always related to the creature. When I first saw the 1931 adaptation, I hated it because I didn't like how they portrayed the creature as a villain. When I first saw the announcement for this adaptation and the fact that Guillermo del Toro was directing it, I was like, oh, this is going to be really good. I got the chance to see it in theaters. I really wish it got a wider release, but you have to see it in a theater. Unfortunately, I don't know if they're gonna re-release it at any time, because I think the last couple days to see it in theaters is coming up. But it was an amazing experience, although people brought kids in, which was a little interesting, and there was this older man that kept falling asleep during the movie. It is a quite long movie, but you literally paid to be here, buddy. Why are you falling asleep? And you're snoring. He's snoring so loud, and there's two people next to him. They're not even waking his ass up. Anyways, that was the best adaptation I've ever seen of the book. It's probably the closest. I really liked the changes that they did. I obviously don't want to spoil too much, but Jacob Elordi's performance as the creature was one of the best performances I've ever seen. I don't know too much about that guy, but I've heard that not a lot of people like him because he gets casted very often as a white, conventionally attractive man. But I think he would do amazing in more monster-like roles. Give him more horror movies, please, where he's not just like this white man. I'll be fully honest, I'm not that good at backgrounds. It's something I've chosen to work on a lot this year, and I want to continue working on, because I've always been a person that loves drawing people. But if I want to be an illustrator, I have all these elaborate ideas in my head. I want to be able to do it. In order to do it, I can't be drawing people in white voids for the rest of time. What I think it really is buildings and furniture that really gets me, but landscapes, I'm like, I'll write on, like the perspective on this piece, I'll be honest, is not the best. I have a horizon line, but it doesn't really fully make sense with the figures, but I kind of want to maybe like, it's maybe like a forced perspective, whatever. It's something I'll work on, obviously, but I do really like how this background came out. I love rendering snow. It's really fun. I think my favorite part when it came to the whole rendering process was doing the trees and putting the snow on the trees. I don't know, there's something fun about just piling up snow on them. I don't know if this is a me thing or a neurodivergent thing or whatever. When I draw, I have to listen to music, watch a YouTube video, a live stream, a podcast, whatever. Have it going on while I'm working. And when I do certain bits, or I look at certain bits of the painting, I remember this was what was happening when I was doing that part. So every single time I see like the trees or whatever in this painting, I get reminded I was watching the Dan and Phil podcast. Okay, so I perfectly timed this to the bird part of the rendering. I originally was going to do a cardinal, but then I realized that they are actually only in North America, but I just associate them with like wintertime because you see them all the time on like Christmas cards. So I changed it to a European robin. And although the cardinal gave it a very nice pop of color throughout the more blue-toned drawing, I do think that it's better off that it's more accurate, We are definitely nearing the end of the finish line of the rendering part, because I can't even tell where I am in rendering because I'm doing all like the small details. But probably in a couple, probably like 30 seconds or whatever, you're gonna see me doing some lighting and adding a layer of snow and some filters and color adjusting, whatever. A little bit of a self-reflection near the end. I think I learned a decent amount when it comes to lighting snow and rendering snow in general. I also got to play with a lot more cooler blue tones, which I don't normally use. If you look at my other work, you see I love using purple and pink. I think the lighting will start in 3, 2, 1. Yep. So that is all of that. Thank you so much for watching. I'm about to show the final product. You can find me as Doll Oddity on Instagram and TikTok. I also have a shop where I may or may not make this an art print. I will have to see. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.